It was January of 2016. My buddies and I live right next to a nature preserve and used to love to explore it. It was a weekend and we were looking for something to do. Being mischievous, we decided to go explore the storm drain that supplied water to the creek in the nature preserve. It had a barred barricade blocking entry into it, so we decided to throw some rocks in to see if the rocks made contact at any point so we could figure out the depth. However, we received much more in return.
What the hell?
After throwing a rock against the wall in the storm drain, a couple seconds passed and we heard a terrifying thump and a bang in return. Dusk was approaching, so we called it a day and watched back what we recorded of it. The next weekend, I gathered a few more buddies and we decided that we would unbolt the barricade to the drain and go inside. I got the barricade to fall down and we made our entrance. It went in about 30 feet deep until it hits a dead end. However, there was a second branch of the drain just to our left, but we would have to take a step up to get into it. We proceeded in one by one, all 5 of us. At first, there was nothing but spider webs and nasty water. We traveled about 500 to 1,000 feet into the drain as it kept getting skinnier and we had to crawl to proceed. We were all frozen in our tracks as we heard the same exact thump from the weekend before, a scary and hard to describe sound. We had no signal and were terrified at that point because we were all right next to each other, but the noise was coming from much further away. At this point, my friend decided to start recording in case anything else happened. We made it out of the drain safely without anything else happening, but the scariest and most chilling part of this whole story was when we reviewed the video and saw a slight outline of a head at one of the turns of the drain. This couldn't possibly have been one of us because we had all been together. I took a screenshot of it and zoomed in as far as I could, and well, I was horrified. There in the frame was someone or something. We have never went back into that nature preserve, let alone the storm drain. I'm a freshman at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Some friends of mine came home from a football party after their game and asked me to come hang out. They brought some girls to the party that they knew from high school and happened to be in the city. One of the girls that came was super friendly, but also very drunk. I didn't see her drink anything in the dorms. I left with my girlfriend later that night around 2 a.m. At around 3, I heard sirens and could see lights just outside of my window. I figured it was just another kid who came home with alcohol poisoning, but then I heard the most gut-wrenching scream of my life. I walked out of my room and saw one of my friends from the dorm that I had just left running down the hall wanting my help. I started running down the hall following them and saw blood on the floor. I thought for sure someone had been stabbed. Then I saw 3 police officers and a paramedic team strapping the friendly drunk girl down to a stretcher. I went to ask my friends what happened and they looked exhausted. They said her eyes rolled into the back of her head and then she started growling and bleeding heavily from each nostril. She attacked some of our friends, yanking their hair and trying to bite them like an animal. This girl fought off 3 6-foot-tall, fairly muscular guys by herself. Keep in mind that this girl is probably 5'1", 105 pounds, and was possessing superhuman strength, all while screaming at the top of her lungs. The scariest part is when the RA came over to pray over the situation, as he is a devoted Christian. She started screaming, "F God, F Jesus, the devil is coming for you all." At this point, my heart was sinking in pure fear of the situation, as was everyone else who was present. The emergency responders said that they have never seen anything like this, even if she was possibly drugged at the party. Thankfully, I was able to capture a good 20 seconds of this on camera because I knew no one would believe me. Unfortunately, you can't really see her because the paramedics were in the way, but just listen closely, especially towards the end of the video. You can hear her scream, "They're coming for you all. They're coming for you next." Last I heard, she woke up with no memory of the situation, but is in a very dark place at the moment. This is the video that was captured.
Hey, back out, bro. I love you.